The Boxing Day results are in. Find out the unofficial tally coming up.
DEC gives out some holiday cheer.
And holiday hoops take off. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Keish Latterly.
And I'm Candino Knowles. Thanks for joining us.
Topping the news tonight, hundreds gathered at Arawak Key just waiting to hear which group would walk away with the Boxing Day title.
In the end, some got their feelings hurt, and for others, it was a sweet victory. Opal Roach has a recap of the unofficial results.
From China to the Bahamas, the Valley Boys captured the attention of judges, taking the top spot in the coveted Junkanoo Parade. In the off-the-shoulder category, the returning champs literally swept that one, taking the first 6 of the 9 prizes. The group also claims bragging rights for its Shirley Street performance, Best Banner, Free Dance, Lead Costume, and Choreograph, but it lost in this category.
And the music category. In 4th place, with 76.46 points, Roots. In 3rd place, with 79.29 points, Valley Boys. In 2nd place, with 82.87 points, Saxons. Winning the music category with 91.80 points, One Family.
Now, a new scoring system was used and the groups were assessed out of 100 points. In the end, From China to the Bahamas soared above Taj Mahal, Jewel of India. You're Born There, rediscover the Bahamas at 40. Bahamian Music Turns Me On, From Whence We Came, and 40 Years of Independence.
In 6th place, with 51.74 points, Prodigal Sons. In 5th place, with 59.21 points, Music Makers. In 4th place, with 81.61 points, Roots. In 3rd place, with 84.29 points, One Family. In 2nd place, with 84.45 points, Saxons. And the winner, overall winner, with 87.93 points, Valley Boys.
Now, the groups only did 2 laps because of a late start due to weather concerns. We understand that 2 groups were penalized because of delays. Opal Roach, ZNS Network News.
Well, the Valley Boys' execution of its theme From China to the Bahamas seemed to resonate with spectators, but more importantly with the judges, as the group was able to reclaim the Boxing Day title. And as Andrew Knowles tells us tonight, the win is a significant one for the group, especially for its ailing leader.
He is smiling and ready to come home for New Year's.
Winston Gus Cooper's son, Francisco Cooper, says his father is thrilled at the results of the Boxing Day Junkanoo Parade, especially considering the difficult year it's been for his family with his father's illness and the recent death of Gus's son, Anthony.
I've probably been to Miami about 12 times. And every time we go there, I give him an update from my iPod, showing him what we're doing. But he said, son, I want you to go back home, take care of my business. Junkanoo is my life.
With close attention to intricate detailing synonymous with Chinese art and culture, to the skillful execution of Chinese traditional dance moves, the Valley Boys provided a journey to the Great East as they rocked Bay Street. It's the first time in more than 50 years that the Junkanoo icon didn't lead his group on Bay.
Gus has surrounded himself with a lot of talented people, both young and old. And that formula that he has helped to craft over the last 55 years is a women formula. And we were able to use that formula to win yesterday. Exciting costumes, colors, a good presentation, and lots of music.
And not to mention the special appearance by Prime Minister Perry Christie as the Emperor of China, filling in for his longtime friend. In fact, many critics claim it was the Prime Minister's appearance that solidified the Valley's win. However, Chairman Brian Adderley disagrees.
I don't think he participated in any way to use the powers of his office to influence the parade. And as you would have seen yesterday, we didn't need any help. We didn't need any help from anyone. I must say, though, however, that Mr. Christie, the Prime Minister, did add a little to our presentation. He was very effective with his dancing, and he was very good on Bay Street and on Shirley Street.
And for New Year's, Adderley says the group will depict another world superpower, the United States.
The basis of our presentation would be a portrayal of some of the states in America. Of course, we can't miss out Florida, since so many Bahamians visit Florida. And we will have some symbols, some icons, and some traditions and pastime that you would find in America.
And although they've scored the win in the Boxing Day parade, as you can see behind me, the work continues there in that shack. But one thing is certain, come the New Year's Day Junkanoo parade, the Valley Boys say they'll be ready to show up and show out. Andrew Knowles, ZNS Network News.
One family has protested the results of the Boxing Day parade based on a penalty that they say was assigned incorrectly. They believe a penalty that was supposed to be assigned to an individual costume was incorrectly deducted from the overall score. The difference would have put them in first place and bumped the Valley Boys from first to second and the Saxons to third. Decisions on that or more on that will come later. The B category results from Boxing Day still aren't available. We spoke with the chairman of the Parade Management Committee, Douglas Hanna, this afternoon, who told us that while he does have some preliminary results, he's still cross-checking with the final tallies. He said he's doubtful the unofficial results will be released today and that it's more likely that unofficial results will be released sometime tomorrow.
Well, Prime Minister Perry Christie was not only a spectator in this year's parade, but also a participant. And before he got into costume for the big rush, he spoke with our Clint Watson, who reports tonight that the nation's chief is now calling for a review of the parade.
One thing that was evident at this year's BTC Boxing Day parade was that it moved too slowly. Gaps were witnessed at several spots in the parade, and based on Junkanoo officials, those were as a result of groups not being ready to rush. Prime Minister Perry Christie says something must now be done.
Something is wrong really with this process, and we have to try and fix it, because it's not going to be, I think, conducive to people enjoying themselves in a limited time, you know, where you're going to do this. And so the minister knows that we have to look at this very carefully and to see whether this becomes a competition event rather than a mixture and whatnot. And so, you know, for me, I don't know how long I'm going to keep on talking about this, but we're going to have to find a way to make people happier at Junkanoo.
Prime Minister Christie also feels the inclusion of social groupings at the parade also contributes to its lengthiness. But on a lighter note, Prime Minister Christie picked up the tradition started by the country's first Prime Minister, the late Sir Lyndon Pindling, who often rushed with the pigs. Mr. Christie accepted the challenge to rush with his group, the Valley Boys. But it wasn't just for the fun. A worthy cause was behind it all.
What I'm doing is only for Gus Cooper. Gus Cooper is desperately ill. Will never come back to Bay Street again. I started off with him with the Valley Boys. I'm the only surviving member who will be out here from the original Valley Boys. And so truly, and maybe one or two others, but most certainly this morning, I want to be able to do some things for him.
Having said that, it was to the traditional Junkanoo trash talk and whether the nation's chief could handle the challenge of a high rush down Bay Street.
Well, those who wait out here for the Valley Boys will see whether or not I can handle it. I'm coming out as an emperor. The Chinese tell me the king. But in fact, I'm going to have a spectacular costume, a spectacular look. And I told Bola Francis when he was passing with the Saxons, I see how he's allowed himself just to be a slow dancer And so I'm just going to show them once again.
You're going to pick up the pace?
Oh, I'm going to pick the pace up.
As to whether or not his performance or lack of thereof would hurt the Valley Boys, the Prime Minister says he had a routine that would definitely lead the group to a win.
So 55 years ago, I would have been able to, from John Bull, who was then the Nassau Shop, get on my toes and come off my toes passing Rawson Square. And now, obviously, I can't do that now, all right? But at least I'm going to reminisce as I'm doing it. And as I
do what you can. Just do what you can.
I'm going to do what I can. And I'm going to leave it right here. The last thing my wife said, boy, for God's sake, take it easy.
And based on the results from all indications, he came through. Clint Watson, ZNS Network News.
The Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence reviewing a number of challenges that took place during the Boxing Day parade. Prior to the parade, the corporation implemented a number of changes, including a new scoring system. Chairman Silbert Ferguson said there were some challenges with the tablets used for calculating the scores.
We had some challenges yesterday. We found that with the new pads that we put in, that we had some serious challenges with battery drains downtown for whatever reason. And so we're going to attempt to do it again in the new year, and hopefully we'll see how it goes in the new year. But it seems like only 20 of the units stayed up and the other rest died. We've already talked to tech team, and the tech team has advised me on how they're going to attempt to do it. And so we have to put in a mechanism to sort of kill the screens when they're not in use. So we'll be able to maintain for the entire parade time.
Now, Ferguson commended participants and the parade management team for their efforts. However, he noted that there was an issue with one of the groups.
The parade management team will basically say, I thought we were okay, and that's what they said to me. Our job was to give them the tools and they were to execute. I think they did that. They managed the parade properly. If you saw yesterday, we had some gaps in the parade. You know, every year we're trying to cut that out. But yesterday we had a little issue at the gate with group number 2, and that was a challenge for them. But after they got the challenge sorted, we started to roll again.
While the Valley Boys are celebrating victory, they're also mourning the loss of one of their own, who reportedly died while rushing yesterday.
Valley Boys Chairman Brian Adderley says it's been a difficult or extremely difficult year for the group that's had to contend with the loss of 3 of its key members and with the illness of its leader.
Just yesterday, regrettably, one of our members passed away during the parade. As we were coming across East Street, he just collapsed. I don't know what the results as to what caused his death, but yesterday Simon Roll, who rushes with us, he's a drummer, he collapsed as we passed East Street. So it's been a very challenging year for us, on top of the fact that, you know, Mr. Cooper has been ill and absent.
In our first look at weather, we have this moderate ridge over the Bahamas, which is whipping up some brisk winds, and then that front boundary continues to back up towards the north. But outside of our studios just now, we have mostly cloudy skies with some recent light showers here at the studios. Temperature at 76 degrees, your relative humidity now at 83%. Winds east-northeast at 10 knots, your barometric pressure 1,020.4 millibars. That's 30.13 inches, and it continues to rise. And that's going to do it for your temperatures around the Family Fowler. Stay tuned. The temperatures and Family Island temperatures are still to come.
Well, still to come, basketball players hit the court for holiday hoop action.
And BEC with some good news to end the year. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Shell Helix Ultra. Performance you can see.